What's good, family, and welcome back to another video. Today is Saturday, April 29th. We just seen the Los Angeles Lakers knock out and send John Morant, Desmond Bain, and Dylan Brooks to Cancun. It's a party inside my city. What's going on, everybody, man? I'm here to give y'all my round two predictions. This is before game one of the Phoenix Suns versus the Denver Nuggets. So I just want to give you guys a real quick recap of round one, and then give you guys a real quick, prediction of round two. So let's just go ahead and breeze through this because there was not a lot of great round one matchups, as we're only having one series go to game seven. First, we had the Denver Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Denver Nuggets were able to take care of them 4-1. Anthony Edwards really just like thug one of them games out, and I think the NBA didn't want to sweep, so they sent the gentleman sweep to happen in that series. Phoenix Suns versus the Clippers in round one. Phoenix Suns handled them 4-1. I do think that if the Clippers were fully healthy, they would have been able to handle the Phoenix Suns, but now that the Suns are getting rolling, they got a whole series under their belt, more of continuity of playing together. I'm starting to fear the Suns a little bit more now. The series, like I mentioned, the only one that is at 7 games is the Kings and Warriors. Not gonna lie, you guys, I had the Warriors winning it about like five, if at the most six. But for the fact that the Kings even took it to a 7 game series with the lack of experience that they have versus the Warriors is full. They have nothing but playoff experience. I really do think that the Kings are a better team, and they're gonna actually pull out this game seven. That's gonna be tomorrow, man. So we'll stay tuned for that. The Lakers, like I mentioned, they did beat the Grizzlies 4-2. Let's be honest, guys. Like yes, the Lakers were a playing team, but since the Lakers have got rid of Russell Westbrook and got brought in all those pieces that actually fit, the Lakers have been the best team in the NBA. And if they would have had this roster that they had all season and would have been healthy, they wouldn't have even been a playing team. They would have been way better than Memphis Grizzlies. So they were better than Memphis Grizzlies coming into the series. They still are better, and they will be better. Now let's jump to the East. We've seen that collapse between the Bucks and the Heat. I can't believe the Bucks lost 4-1 to the Heat. And I mean, that's all a credit to Jimmy Butler being him, Giannis choking, Giannis freezing up, Coach Bud purposely trying to get fired. That's really what it seems like. And yeah, and the Heat won that series 4-1. We did have the Cavaliers versus the Knicks. That was another meltdown. I have the Cavaliers winning. The Knicks won 4-1. And you know what that proved to me? Instead of Donovan Mitchell being the best player out there, Jalen Brunson proved, yo, I don't care how small I am. I'm still that guy. I'm still able to get to it. And Jalen Brunson just straight up acted and was the best player out there in that series. And you could see it. Next series we had was the only sweep in the first round. That is the 76ers, and they swept the Nets. No surprise there. I mean, the Nets had no answer for Joel Embiid, the MVP. And then the last series in the first round is the Celtics versus the Hawks. This almost went 7 games because the Hawks were keeping it close in that game six, but then the Celtics were able to pull it out. Ultimately, I do think I thought the Celtics were going to sweep them, to be honest with you, but I also thought the Bucks were going to sweep the Heat. So clearly, I'm wrong with some of my rational thoughts here. But let's go ahead and move on to round two, and let's get to our predictions. This isn't really going to be much a recap. This is going to be me more predicting what's going on and what I got in that matchup. So let's go ahead and start in the West, and that's going to be the Phoenix Suns versus the Denver Nuggets. For that, I got Suns in six. And I mean, look, guys, this is going to be a dogfight. But I just think how are the Denver Nuggets and most especially Nikola Jokic? How are they going to stop the Phoenix Suns pick and roll? Like Jokic is just too slow, right? So, and especially when you think of who do the Phoenix Suns have? Chris Paul, he is a pick and roll god. Devin Booker, he loves to operate right out of the pick and roll into that midi. Kevin Durant, one of the greatest offensive scorers of all time. So I know when I think to myself, I think, all right, well, how are the Nuggets gonna try to slow that down? And I mean, as long as the Nuggets keep Jokic out there, every single time down court, the Suns are gonna have a mismatch, right? And I mean, I just talked about the coming off the pick and roll and getting switches. The Suns will have the favorable mismatch every single time, and playoffs is all about matchups, man. People who really can't differentiate play regular season basketball and playoff basketball, I'm gonna give it to you right here. It's called head hunting and playoff. It's called playoff hunting. Sorry, not playoff hunting. It's called matchup hunting. was getting my words mixed up. It's called matchup hunting. And y'all, we know how much of a master Chris Paul is at matchup hunting. And he's gonna hunt for all the favorable matchups, getting switches with the little and big pick and roll to where now you have Jokic guarding a Chris Paul or Devin Booker. Oh yeah, maybe Kevin freaking Durant, right? And then when we think about the fact that the Phoenix Suns just took care of the Clippers. I know the Clippers weren't fully healthy. They just took care of the Clippers without Kevin Durant really having to impose his will. I mean, Devin Booker's been by far the best player on the Phoenix Suns and maybe even in the entire NBA so far. So Kevin Durant hasn't even had to impose his will, and the Suns have been as dominant as they have been. It's really looking bad for Jamal Murray and the Denver Nuggets. I will give some credit though because Jamal Murray and Jokic have their two-man game is on fire right now. But I just simply think that the Suns will be able to match that with their two-man game, especially having a favorable matchup really almost every single time Jokic is out there. But the biggest difference maker for the Nuggets is definitely going to be the way MPJ steps up. I know he's been inconsistent. KCP has to be knocking down his shots. And, Lakers KCP and Aaron Gordon, man. Aaron Gordon's going to be a huge difference maker because we know what they're going to get from Jokic and what they're going to get from Jamal Murray. While on the other side of things, the Suns really got to focus on however many pick and rolls they're going to be able to put Nikola Jokic into. For the next matchup, it's going to be the Lakers is already ready. The Lakers are already kicked up, you know what I'm saying? Chilling, waiting for the Kings or the Warriors. I personally think it is going to be the Kings. But honestly, as a Lakers fan and just even as a basketball guru, having basketball knowledge, I feel comfortable. Whoever, Lakers or Kings or Warriors, because both the Kings or the Warriors, they can't really match up with the Lakers in the 7-game series. And I talked about, in that last series, I talked about playoffs is all about matchups, favorable matchups. And the Kings and the Warriors just simply cannot match what the Lakers can do, while the Lakers can match any lineup that they want to run, right? So let's say the Lakers want to go small ball to match what the Kings are doing or to match what the Warriors are doing. They can do that by running Wenyen Gabriel at the 5, running running Ruchi Hakamura at the 5. I said Ruchi Hakamura. Oh, man, that was crazy. But they can do that at any time. But what the Warriors and the Kings cannot do is when the Lakers decide to run that big lineup and run with AD out there, there's just no answer that the Kings have nor the Warriors have. So they're going to have to throw doubles, triples, box and ones. And you know what that's going to do? That's going to lead for somewhere to be an open defender. So I think, the biggest factor in this series is probably the biggest factor that's been on the Lakers since Anthony Davis has came. Anthony Davis's health. If Anthony Davis is healthy, he's the best big in this league. Better than Jokic, better than Embiid, better than anybody. And he will be the difference maker in this league, in this series, because the Kings don't have anyone to combat that. The Warriors for sure don't have anyone to combat that. So for that, really, even if it be Kings or Warriors, I'd still have Lakers in 6. Just don't really see them being able to match. Don't really see the Kings and the Warriors be able to match up with the Lakers. Let's go head over there to the East Coast and let's get in some of these round 2 predictions from the East. We first have the Knicks versus the Heat, man. Oh, man. Shout out my guy, Danny B, man. If you haven't had a chance to check out last episode, go check out last episode. New York Knicks legend Danny B came on the pod, and we were just talking about not only their great round 1 matchup, but also this round 2 and some of these predictions. But let's go ahead and get into it. I have Knicks in 6, to be honest with you, and that's me giving respect to the Heat because of what I've seen them do. But let's be honest, man. I just don't think the Heat are a good team. Like they beat the Bucks simply on the fact of Giannis missing 2 games. Coach Bud just decided to choke and wanted to purposely get fired. Giannis froze up and didn't want to shoot a free throw. And Jimmy Butler is him. Like Jimmy Butler is him. But besides that, like the Miami Heat are not a real threat. Especially that they just lost Tyler Hero and Victor Oladipo, who came off the bench and was big for them. Bam Adebayo hasn't been looking the same. So you mean to tell me that the Miami Heat are going to be relying on Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, Max Strus, Kevin Love, which is way out of age, even though he's been doing this thing, Gabe Vincent, and just other role players. I'll be honest with you, man, that's just not enough. But from the Knicks side of things, they have a deep squad. They have the energy. They have momentum rolling. I'll be honest with you. I don't even think the Knicks themselves thought they were going to beat the Cavaliers. And for them to come out and beat them 4-1, man, they have so much momentum rolling into this next series. And I mean, if the Knicks can get that same defensive energy that they got from Josh Hart, I mean, Josh Hart didn't let D Mitch breathe. And I think he's gonna do the same thing to Jimmy Butler. Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein, they got to keep being the monster on the glass that they've been. They gave the Knicks a huge advantage against the Cavs. And ultimately, I do think the Knicks just need to keep running their offense through Jalen Brunson. And it's crazy that I'm saying this because I was the number one guy when the Knicks got Jalen Brunson. I said, oh man, Jalen Brunson is not a number one guy, not a guy that your offense can run through in the playoffs. But I was wrong, and I'm here admitting I'm wrong. Jalen Brunson, I'm sorry, Rick Brunson, he was right. So go ahead and keep running that offense through Jalen Brunson. My only real question mark for the Knicks is Julius Randle health. I know he re-aggravated that ankle sprain, but ultimately, I do think that the Knicks can still get past the Heat in this series without Julius Randle being at his full. But if they want to go to the finals, if they want to get past the Eastern Conference finals, I do think that they're definitely going to need Julius Randle and their team at full strength. But last matchup that we have here for round two is going to be the Celtics versus 76ers. For this, I got Celtics in 7, and this is one of the series I'm really looking forward to most, man. Both teams match up well. They both have great guard play. I do think that the Celtics have a little bit better backcourt, with Brogdon, with Derek Wright, with Marcus Smart, with Jaylen Brown. Really, you could put Jason Tatum as a guard too, but we'll call him front court for now. But the 76ers, I do think they have a better front court, and that's simply on the fact of Joel Embiid, man. And I think this series is going to be a real test for Joel Embiid because the Celtics, in my opinion, are just the deepest team in the NBA. They got something to prove, and don't get me wrong, Joel Embiid also has something to prove. But the Celtics just choked last year in the biggest stage of them all, and now they have the deepest team with the big and they have something to prove. I think the Celtics are coming for a vengeance this year, man, and I think that's why they'll be able to take care of the 76ers in 7. Although I will say Robert Williams is going to be needed. Al Horford is going to be huge for this series. But the only reason why I say Robert Williams is going to be absolutely needed is because the Celtics are going to need another big to bang with Joel Embiid down low, man. Joel Embiid is going to get to his spot, and I mean he can really operate from anywhere, the midi, the 3-point line, down low block. But I think where Joel Embiid's bread and butter is in this series, because the 76ers have a better front court, is going to be the low block, man. So I think that Robert Williams is going to have to be there, going to have to be the Celtics' big body representing for them. But ultimately, I do think that the deeper team is going to win here, and that is the Celtics. So I do got Celtics in 7. But that's my round 2 recap, y'all. I know this was a quick video, just getting to it real quick. Hopefully we get this out before game 1 of Denver Nuggets and Phoenix Suns. Hopefully you guys been enjoying all this NBA action. As always, man, make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I love y'all, and we out here, y'all. Peace.